Okay, guys, second message. So this is about cellular communication within yourself, okay? Like a network in your body. And the impact that choice and pivoting and speaking about your openness to receive information from God, okay? Whether it's solar codes, earth codes, in between information like interdimensional guidance, how this can kind of help you on a cellular level, but also how, I'm asking Spirit how they want to say it. They want me to show you like a water card. So I'm going to show you one of these water cards, okay? And then I'm going to explain. So this is a deck by Dr. Masaru Emoto. I love this deck. Water Crystal Oracle. He is famous for studying frequencies in water and how water responds to what we say to it, and how it changes the structure of the water. And it becomes sacred geometrical shapes when you speak good things to it, okay? 111 as I said that. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay, like this one right on the top. This is wisdom and compassion. So this, when he did this study and he spoke wisdom and compassion to the water and froze it, this is the crystal it forms. Okay, I'm going to just show you a couple. This one's really beautiful. Dolphin, look at this. We all know dolphins are so magical, right? This is what the water formed when he spoke dolphin to it. Okay? And this is truth. And this is thank you. And I feel like that in itself is a message from Spirit. They're like, that's right. So the dolphins are teaching us. Okay. So they're using frequency, you guys. We know they have sonar ability. So do we. So do the whales. So I feel like this is a very much an ocean energy. Do I have my little ocean deck out here? Let me see. Ocean, are you there? Yeah, I've got one. Okay, so what they want you to do is they want you to think about what ultrasound does, okay? So ultrasound is sort of emits like a frequency, right? A sound frequency that has the ability to pick up on density, okay? Now that density, if it was exposed to enough sound frequency, could also break down. So we know that like ultrasound can be used to, like, for instance, break up a tumor in the body. Think of what an earthquake does within the earth. It opens it up. It vibrates that energy out, okay? Explosive energy, right? So frequency, however it's emitted, okay? Like in this instance, I'm feeling this message from the dolphins and the whales. And it's very much a water message, but water within your body, okay? But frequency is able to bring about physical change. This is what humanity needs to wake up to, among many things, many truths that have been veiled, okay? So when you start to wake up to that, you start to realize that you are creating your physical reality, that your thoughts are frequency and they are emitting frequency all around you, and that's becoming physical things. Thoughts become things, okay? So you could take that down another path of how to manifest or how to get what you want, okay? But today we're going to reverse that. We're looking in the mirror, okay? That's one of my sacred rules as a teacher, is to help with the mirror, okay? How do we use this to look within and create what we want, okay? So what Spirit wanted me to explain is that when we have solar codes coming in from the sun, okay, or frequency coming up from the earth, these codes are going to affect your DNA no matter what, okay? It's like you're going to be affected, okay? It's like if there was an earthquake somewhere, you're not going to stop that. But if you choose to receive it, okay, by daily stating and showing that you receive the wisdom from the solar codes, you guys, there's craft flying all over right now. They always do this when I make these messages. So they're like, we're here. We support this ascension message. If you choose to receive it, if you make the choice, then the codes entering into the body, activating that ancient DNA, don't have to hit so hard, okay? And the way she wants me to show this to you is through the water crystal formation, okay? So she just wants you to understand, okay, that when you speak to water, it changes. And your body is primarily water, okay? So when you, for instance, go outside and meditate in the sun, okay, and you actively say, I receive this light. What's happening on a cellular level is the message of receive, okay? It structurally changes your water. You are structured water, by the way, okay? So you're restructuring your own water to go into receiving mode, okay? Now, on a cellular level, and I only know this because I have a water filtration business, so I teach the impact of water on the cells, okay? But on a cellular level, your cells have little openings. So you have like a cell. Say you're looking at a diagram of a cell. All around the outside of the membrane of the cell are these little openings called aquaporins, okay? And they are positively charged. They have a positive electrical charge, because remember, your body is electrical. So you are electrical water. You are plasma. Okay. Anyway, that's the science geek in me. But those little aquaporins have a positive charge, okay? So they need an opposite for penetration, okay? So they need a negatively charged water to obtain maximum absorption. So when you have a negatively charged water, so a negative current of electricity running through the water, you get more hydration. You need the opposite, okay? So restructuring your water to accommodate how your actual biology works is wisdom. And that's in a literal, scientific, physical way. But what about restructuring how your water works in spirit? See, when you are open to receiving, the whole process just happens so much easier. 707 as I said that. I don't know if I brought my little number deck out here, but I'll plug it up there and you guys can look it up. But I feel like that's going to be important for somebody. Yep. Selkie. I want to tell you a message about this. Okay, so this is about embracing who you really are. What are we? Right? Well, we are a many, many layered being, but at our very core, we are God. We are Source. 744 as I said that. We are a manifestation of God. It means that we can have many forms. We are many layers. We can do this any kind of way. But when we're open to it, it's easier, more fun, more interesting, and a much better journey. Okay? So, when you state that you receive the codes, and we're going to talk about this, Selkie, in just a second, because there is a message in it. Your cells open to receive. Okay? And this enables a better activation of your light. This is how you choose the higher timeline. Okay? If you wanted to make this a timeline message, this is how you get into the higher timelines. Choosing to receive the wisdom. It's going to come no matter what. At the end of the day, everyone will return to Source. No matter how long it takes us to get there. But if you want this to be an easier, gentler, more fun and healthy journey, where you're not suffering and struggling in the body the whole time, okay? Receiving the wisdom is key. So speak that to your body. And I'm hearing, ask for the dolphins and whales to assist you. Now, it's not a coincidence that these two cards came up in the same thing, because I have had many, I don't know what we're going to call it. We'll call it an astral travel. To a planet or plane that is full of water. Now, I'm guessing this is, they're calling it Neptune realm, okay? I do think it's connected to other stars. I didn't get a message on where it was when I was in the vision. This was in my sleep, by the way, but I know it's a real place because of something that I'm about to tell you, okay? In this vision, I was taking people through an observatory, a star observatory, and there was a woman there operating a mosaic of light. And it was huge, and she was extremely gifted and very fast. She was moving so fast on her like keyboard, whatever she was using. I'm sure it was some kind of advanced technology that I couldn't hardly keep up with her. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so fast. And she's like, I slowed down just so you could see me. Okay. So talk about the speed of light. She slowed down so we could perceive her. And I take all the people through this observatory and we're looking at the mosaic of life, and it's like freaking beautiful and amazing and all of that. And I'm their guide, and I am a guide to many people in this life, so I could see the symbolism in this vision. I bring them out to the forest. We walk through the forest and we go into like this containment area of water. And I'm walking down these stairs, these beautiful structured stairs. It's like reminding me of like a temple of Egypt, but it wasn't here. It was another realm. But it does remind me of the same structure. And I think that's because the temples of Egypt and all the pyramids and all the ancient structures here are based on galactic wisdom and other star systems. This is extraterrestrial technology, for lack of a better way to put it, because the ETs don't consider themselves ETs, because they're not really. Because they're not apart from us. They are part of us, okay? So I'm just going to use that term, though, because it makes sense for people. So I'm walking through a containment area that looks like an ancient sacred site. As I'm going into the water, a seal appears to me. And it looks like this one, kind of. And it's right in my face, like, whew. And I was like, whoa. And everybody, like, paused, because they're following me, right? And I was like, hold on. And the seal and I communicated telepathically. And I was like, it's okay. He's good. He's sweet. Let's go. And we kept going. Well, we go into the water, and I can breathe underwater in this dream, okay? And all the people can breathe underwater, and they're following me, and we go under the water, and the seal turns into a whale. And the whale is white and covered in rainbow like sparkles. And we all touch his belly. And he like swims over us, and we're all touching his belly. And everyone receives healing from this experience. And it was beautiful, you guys. Beautiful experience. Now, the confirmation that it's a real place. 12/12, as I said that. 2 weeks after I had this dream, and I didn't tell anybody about it. I have a few friends that understand my visions, but very few here that live here. So who would I tell? You know what I mean? So I didn't tell anybody. And I have a friend that comes into the spa to get like her eyelashes done, because at the time I was offering eyelash extensions in the spa, which is my business. And she falls asleep while I'm doing her eyelashes. And for years and years I worked in medical aesthetics, so I was very familiar with seeing a patient who's asleep under anesthesia, and how deep they sleep and how shallow the breath can get, okay? And she basically is in such a deep sleep. When I finished her lashes, she didn't wake up. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked at her and I checked her pulse, and she had a pulse, and she was like out. Like, if you can imagine, you know, when you're doing eyelashes, you're actually lifting up their eyelid and working on them. It did not wake her up. She was that deep, okay? But she's a very dear friend of mine, and she's familiar with my spiritual work and comfortable with it. So I didn't feel any need to like stir her. I knew she would want the healing and the rest. So I asked my guides, I was like, what's going on? And they said, do not touch her. We are healing her. I said, okay. They said, just go decorate in the front of the spa, because it was like around Christmas time that this happened a few years ago. And I was like, okay. So I let her sleep, okay. An hour later, she wakes up and she comes out and she's like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know exactly what happened, but my guides told me not to touch you. They said they were healing you and for me to just go decorate in the front. And she proceeds to tell me that she saw me in a vision, and I took her underwater where we saw these whales, and they healed her. And I was like, oh my God, what? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this was no dream. This was real. This was a real place. It is a real place. And that's, you know, I talked about this yesterday about perspective. The quicker you all and me and all of us just open up our perspective, the more magical this whole experience is going to become. 1441, as I said that. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Had to go check on my babies. Okay. So, this place is assisting us right now. And because it has water, it's really a water realm. it's easy for the frequencies to come through to us. And this is going back to what 3i Atlas told me. Hello, beautiful. Come see. There's a butterfly. It always comes around when I do these messages. 3i Atlas says it's like sending the solar codes, right, through the water or the atmosphere, because everything is water on some level, whether it's liquid water, gas, or frozen. It's all frequency. And so it's very easy for these beings to communicate through water. And that's why the water is so sacred and special, you guys. So special. I'm asking them, they're saying to pull an animal from my animal deck. So 1 second. Yes. Hold on 1 second, you guys. Okay, guys. Sorry, I had to let my neighbor walk by. I didn't want it to be loud. This came up twice, so this is definitely the card. Keeper of Secrets, Lynx. And it says, take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowledge. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. So this is important for someone in this message of transformation. I'm going to pull another of the animal deck. And this, for me, very much speaks to the Lyrans or Lyrans, okay, assisting us right now as well. Eagle, yep, mastery. And higher perspective, and the eagle always represents Christ to me. Yeah, you're being guided by winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. I'm being told to grab an elemental card. Do I have it out? Yes, I do. Hang on. 1 second. Yep. North Node expansion. So these codes being sent to us, you guys, they contain so much wisdom, secrets, okay? Mastery school. Think of the message of that together. Yeah. Water codes, wisdom, dolphins, whales, advanced beings, interdimensional beings, craft. And this very much looks like the vision I had the other day when I was operating a craft. I literally had this experience of moving the cylinder-looking things and it operating in this craft. So, yeah. What else do you want to say, you guys? Wow. Dark matter. Creative. That's creation, you guys. I'm going to read it for y'all. Growth. Plants. Seeds. That's the feeling I'm getting. We are creating. The world still has mystery, guys. Keeper of secrets, mastery. And this is a fine thing. Just because you cannot see it doesn't mean it's not there. You do not have to know the details of everything. Some things are better not revealed at this time. Have faith. And this word comes from the ancient Greek mysterion, mysteries. Imagine an elemental force that makes up possibly 85% of the universe that you can't see and remains elusive, but you know it's there. Imagine the elemental matter is called dark because it's hard to perceive and it doesn't interact with electromagnetic radiation such as light. So it's undetectable. Yes, mysterious. How do we know such a thing exists if it remains invisible? The math says it's highly probable due to the way the universe behaves. In practice, the term dark matter is often used to mean only the non-baryonic component of dark matter. We still don't know what dark matter is made up of, although there are many theories. Scientists have managed to categorize dark matter by cold, warm, and hot, terms that refer to velocity rather than temperature. Dark matter is the subject of huge amount of study. For now, we know that we have a mysterious force that holds the universe together, which is a fantastic concept and one that invites the idea of the unknowable into the frame. Science doesn't know everything yet. The element is air. Wow. Yep. Okay, guys. Now this says you're being guided by the wind. The element is air, okay? Dark matter, for me, is the womb. And you see she's a woman. They don't know what's holding the universe together, but we do, okay? The goddess. And plants, creation, the biome is coming back. I keep hearing the biome. And I'm also hearing, you know, in some stories, the ancient archetype of the dragons, the legends say that we're living inside the belly of a dark dragon. Dark matter. The feminine womb, okay? I'm seeing the egg. So all of this feels very relevant. But what I'm getting from her, if I were to put this message in a summary, is just be open, okay, to receiving the wisdom that surrounds you. You are the embodiment of wisdom, and the wisdom is all around us because we're projecting it into the field whether we know it or not. But when we know it, when we choose it, when we say, I receive, we get more of it, okay? And she's going back to the cellular structure again. When you drink regular water, just like regular filtered water, a bottle of water, you will only absorb 20% of that water because it's not structured to penetrate the membrane of the cell through the aquaporins, because a positive cannot attract a positive. When you restructure it with electricity, okay, it becomes a negative ion and it can penetrate the aquaporins. So you're looking at a 20% absorption versus an 80% absorption. Well, let's apply that to the human body and to ascension and awakening. When we choose it, when we speak it, when we live it, when we breathe it, we're looking at 20% of growth versus 80% of growth. That's kind of what she's wanting me to show you. That even though the science isn't quite there yet, and isn't it funny that the science card is coming up, that they don't understand the mystery. She's telling you that you don't have to fully understand it for it to work. And just go ahead and choose to rise, not knowing how you're going to do it, and then trusting her wisdom to carry you in the womb. That's it. Okay. I love you guys.